in shadow play, where the ice winds howl, the stars have watched for 1,000 years. Rise the names in stone and flame, the masters walk again. Through the mist of the ancient pine, we ride with the storm at our side. Skill and honor in every stride, the call of the mountain is our guide. Older styrker, I belong. Fury, strength, life in hjärta bländer blå this anger. Frozen echoes beneath our boots awaken the wolves in the highland roots. With eyes like fire in endless night, we fight through dark for morning light. Cold winds scream, but we do not yield. Our names are etched in sword and shield. We are the Nordic Masters. From the frost, from the flame we rise. Through thunder and shadow, we ride beneath immortal skies. The drums of fate resound in the crash of steel and crown. We are the storm, we are the sound. Nordic Masters glory bound.
Through the veil of time, the blood remembers. We are never lost, only waiting to rise.
Fjallo eldur, kalla oss. Aldrig bugad, aldrig glömd. Never forgotten. Dave and circle where the brave ones fell. Their cries ring loud, a northern knell. Yet from the cold our fury burns. The axe returns, the tide now turns. We are the Nordic Masters, born in frost but forged in flame. Carved in runes of old, our song, our rides, the wind and name. The fire's in our eyes, the snow beneath our feet. We rise, we roar, we never bow. Nordic Masters can't be beat. The light. We are the shadows of the light. In the mouth of snow after.
And welcome, you beloved digital motorsport friends, and welcome to our stream again in a Nordic Masters series. This is the series in Gran Turismo 7, and we are heading up to the grand finale of this season. My name is Markus Viitanen, and I will be your commentator today with my great friend Petri Kuikka. Welcome, Petri.
Oh, thank you, Markus, and as always, great to be here today, final day, and this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we are expecting pretty tight race again in this Fuji racetrack, and we will go that a little bit later. Today we are heading to the qualification a little bit later. It starts in 2 minutes, so we will join to that later on. And after our main race today, we are having a small team interview post-season talk about this season with our friends from the Iceland and Sweden also. So Petri, we are having a great evening again, and we are expecting lots of friends behind our screens joining our stream today.
Oh yes, as always, we have a lot of people behind the screens, and then it's just one of the big reason why this is so great to be here. And of course, today I'm waiting so tight fight on track, and the situation is tight too, and it's great to see what is the result after this race, but today we see it, and hard to wait it.
Yeah, so we will go through a little bit our season schedule. We started in mid-March in Interlagos, and then we went to the Autopolis track, and last time we visited US State Watkins Glen long track, and today so we are expecting a little bit different track in a Fuji Speedway with last corners or last chicanes, and of course some random weather also, Petri. So we are having a blast today, so please be our guest today until the end of the stream also. So Petri, let's go to the car. Let's talk about a little bit how the races have been during this season with this Mercedes AMG 20 version. So what kind of races we have had, and what kind of race today we are expecting with this Merc in Fuji?
As always, this race been so tight, and the pit stop strategy is one big thing on these races. And of course, like we've seen all this season, the teams are so tight, they fighting so clear, and it was absolutely amazing to watch that all that racing. And of course, this is one of my favorite tracks, so I'm waiting so much on this evening and this competition. And of course, this is the season final, so we have a absolutely amazing evening.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this track in Fuji in Japan, it is a legendary track, and it has held so many, and a little bit more about the various races during its history. What kind of things you would like to give points to our spectators today? What are you expecting?
Of course, the main straight on this track is so long, and I think we see a lot of overtakes to the first corner. I hope that the situation will change quite a lot, and after that first corner, there's a lot of fast corners. Of course, the end of the race, turns 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, totally different. There's so tight, and you really have to focus on that driving and that track. But let's see how the drivers are training and how they I'm waiting a lot.
What are our expects about this weather? It is random again, and this is one of those Gran Turismo 7 tracks where the random weather can bring us some rain also? What kind of variations or things if there will be rain, what kind of would it shuffle the deck or something, give somebody some kind of head start or something? What kind of things about this rain could bring us?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and of course, if it started to rain, it depends how much the rain we get, and of course, that's one big thing to the drivers. Can they just keep going with these racing tires, or should they change the tires and speed the rest of it? And of course, if you have a good position on the track and just going to the right time to the pit stop, then take a lot. But I think we'll see some other races and scenarios that the drivers are so good drivers on this road condition. So let's see what's happening. That's a good question, and I hope we get a little bit today.
Okay, let's start. Let's see what will happen in and during our race today. So I got some adjustments to the levels of the volume. So let us know how the things are now, and we will adjust them during our flight, our race, and evening today. And what were our standings today after the race 3? This is the 4th race in the season. So Team Finland is tightly in a P1, still in P1, but the Icelandic team is only about 40 points behind. And of course, Team Sweden in the 3rd position, also in 536 points. So Petri, Team Norway is absent today. About the drivers couldn't participate, so only 3 countries participate today. But there's 2 lobbies, and of course the points will be given from the both of those. So of course it will affect to the end results of the season really, really tight and much. And what could we expect about this position and things about these 2 lobbies and tight point position after that race 3?
Oh yes, and I think almost everything is possible today. All the countries and drivers have to do their best, and of course I'm expect so tight and clean driving today, and it's nice to see which country is the best one after this final race, and but I think just about and we know it better, and hard to wait when they start, and I think the drivers are just on the track to the qualification, and so exciting.
Yeah, we will join them and start watch about this qualification. It is again in a 5-minute qualification, so perhaps 2 fast laps in this qualification is possible to take. So let's join the track and see how about things are going in there. So we are having Team Icelandic in lead, and Fransson, Einar and Gunnar Augustsson in first drivers, and Forsberg, Johansson and McIntosh from the Team Sweden, and of course Team Finland, Puumalainen and Shadow and Könönen are in driving again. So we are having really, really tight pack. I will expect that the pack will be so tight, and the drivers are a little bit familiar today than they were in a first race of the season. So we are expecting a tight pack in a tight battle for the P1. So let's see, Petri, what will happen during this 5-minute qualification, what starts right now when the drivers are starting the first fast laps. So Petri, what can we or the spectators need to be watching in this track?
Yes, and of course it's we have a couple of new names here, and of course it's so great to see how the drivers can fit this qualification. It matters quite a lot here, and if you could take a good place to start on the race, and of course, like I said before, the stop strategy and the tire strategy is quite important on this race, and that matters a lot and on the race. But let's see. So far, it's looking good, but it's way too early to say which point the drivers will start the race. But let's see.
Let's see. And as we have been seen from the previous races, the last lap will count as much as the first one. So we are having now the last lap for the qualification. So drivers can only 5-minute qualification, and they can start their fast lap if the lap will end before the 5-minute countdown has been gone. So let's see. Now it looks like Team Finland has put their drivers to the P1 to P3 from the first fast lap, but we will not look about and below that Olaf Reinar will. I'm expecting he will rise from this, and of course they are driving tight back and giving some slipstream to the drivers, and now we will see what will happen. Of course, Gunnar Einar Augustsson in P2 and Jokul Fransson in P3 after the second fast lap. So let's see what will happen in McIntosh in 8th position, now passing the finish line, and let's see what will he will drive, and let's see what will happen. Now the Finns are crossing the line, and we will end this fast-paced qualification after the Könönen in P1 and then Gunnar Augustsson and Jokul Fransson. So it was a tight pack. Let's see about those results and now a little bit better. So Petri, we expected a little bit tighter pack, and as we can see, we had what we expected, and now we are looking about this qualification. Now the Könönen in a P1, and after that 2 Icelandic drivers and P4 Johansson from the Team Sweden, and only 0.5 seconds between P1 and P8, Petri.
Oh yes, it was quite tight, and there was, of course, it was quite fast qualification, but the gaps are not so much, and everything looks so good. Markus Könönen in first place, but Augustsson and Fransson are so close, and of course all the drivers was driving very good, but absolutely amazing qualification, and it's great to go and see what's happening to the race.
Yeah, let's see how many minutes we are getting after this, and let's see if we can tell that to all spectators. Also, we are starting in 3 minutes, so please do not go far away, so we can start and continue our discussion about this season so far. Petri, as we can see from the schedule and from the season schedule, we have been driving a little bit different varios and like different layouts during the season. How would you say about those races? What kind of things we have been seeing already from the Interlagos Autopolis for Watkins Glen?
Totally different races and different layouts on those tracks, but it's great to see the final here in Fuji, and of course this is like I said, one of my favorite tracks, and this is fast, and of course it takes quite a lot about the drivers, but all the season was nice to watch, and there was so much tight situations, and I really have to say that Iceland is coming so strong on this whole series. They were driving so fast, and but let's see what's happening after this race, and everything is still open. So let's see.
Let's see, and if you said this is one of your favorite tracks, I cannot say a little bit the same, but I just cannot drive this track. It is so demanding in corners and corners after corners, and the pace will change during the whole whole lap in this track. So it is really, really difficult to get that pace, and it is nice to see how those pro drivers in this race got that perfect lap during that only 5-minute period in a qualification. So we will see in a few minutes how we'll start in this race. And as you said in a first corner, it is really, really interesting to see how carefully the drivers will take that or the first corner. We cannot take so much speed after the start, because the start line is a little bit later on, that fast and long first straight, but it will affect some drivers to get some back, and cars will go, and I will hope we will not see any collisions during this start that is happening really, really soon, Petri.
Oh yes, and it was absolutely amazing to see how the drivers fit that first corner. It's very tight, and but we are almost on the race, so just a few seconds, and we're heading to the track, and amazing.
Yeah, let's see. We are having this start in our fourth race in this Nordic Masters series. The battle between the Nordic countries in this Gran Turismo 7, and now we will see who will take the first corner and who will lead after that. And now we have a takeoff, and let's see from the Johansson's point of view. As we said, the back will be tight, and let's see and hope that cars and drivers know that we will not win the game or win the race. And in a first corner, and of course they did it very, very great job, and now we have a lift-off and Johansson in a P4 and a Puumalainen after him. So let's see what will happen after the first long lap in this Fuji track, and now we are having a great weather. So let's see, Petri, if the rain will come during this almost 1 hour race.
Oh yes, and I'm just watching here the drivers. We have both racing tires uses here, racing soft tires and racing mediums, and of course that's the one big thing on these races, because we see the different bits of strategy, and like we see earlier, that means a lot on these races, but the race is so early, so hard to say anything on this time, but let's see what's happening. But the start was so clean, and nothing special was happening.
Yeah, we will think that the chess game has already and just started when the cars turned to the last corner and to the main straight, and now we are having this pack, and we are expecting some chess play, and the cars will overpass after each other. Now the Johansson and Augustsson will take then a defending line, and after that the Puumalainen from the Team Finland is heading from this corner and trying to overpass, and let's hope there will be no collision. And of course Johansson drove a little bit far from the first corner, and now he dropped a little bit to the P5, and now Puumalainen and Augustsson overpassed him, and of course there's so tight, no place, no room for error in this race. So Puumalainen kept his P3, and Augustsson in a great overpass from the little bit mistake in Johansson's first corner, and Shadow also rise up for the P5. So Petri, that was the first corner, and as you said, that we will see so much happening in this main straight.
Oh yes, it's a long straight, and you can get so close to the leader and other drivers, so you can not so easy to overtake, but it gives you a big chance to overtake after that long main straight, and I hope and we see a lot of overtaking over there, and but because the cars are so good balanced, and that's an interesting thing to see, and we are just heading to the main straight, and let's see what Fransson can do with Markus Könönen.
Yeah, now the battle in P4, 5 and 6 between Augustsson, Shadow and Johansson has already started, and again this chess play, who will make a first move? Augustsson tries to move to the defending line, and Shadow in a just in a next to him, and now Johansson is getting so much speed from the slipstream, and now getting there was a little bit accident between them, and again they used the slipstream better from the long straight, and the braking point they missed. I think all the 3 drivers missed that braking point. How about those speeds from the slipstream? How much they will gain more than just driving alone during that straight?
Actually, I'm not sure how much they get the speed, but it's just a main improvement on that car, on that main straight, when you can stay so close, and you can easily, like we see, you can overtake, and I think that's one of the biggest thing and the best thing on this track, because you can change your position, and you can always use that, and if you use it wise, you can win this race, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, and Fransson took the P1 from the Könönen from Team Finland, and now they are heading Könönen and Puumalainen in a P1, P2 and P3. They are hunting the Fransson Jökull from the first position, and let's see how will they change. And I think that Jökull made a great exit from the last corner, and now is having this lots of speed from the first and last straight, and let's see how much they will gain that speed. In Könönen will take about 260 kilometers per hour, so that will make some scenery changes during that speed, and he started his braking point a little bit earlier than the guys in a last lap, so they didn't go wide in a first corner. So let's see what is happening in a midsection. Gunnar is in a P5, Shadow and Forsberg in a 7th, McIntosh and an Olaf Reiner in a P9. So everything is still happening, and nobody has lost the back. So let's see what will happen during the first 5 and 6 laps, and let's see how much the drivers will how many laps they will take in this first stint of the race, and let's see what will happen now. The Könönen and Puumalainen are hunting for the Jökull Fransson in a P1, and let's see how long the Icelandic driver will take the first position.
Oh yes, and unfortunately I'm just leaving here for just a few seconds. I'm going upstairs and take care of my dog, but I will soon be back here.
Yeah,
so,
anything can happen during the live streams, and of course that is acceptable. And of course the Fransson has took the first position during the last races also, so he is really good to defend his positions, and now he got this more than 0.5 seconds gap to the next Könönen in a P2, so no slipstream using for the Finnish driver. And as we can see from the graphics, this is the little bit wide and late cornering from the Könönen, and of course the cars will change that position, and Puumalainen took this from the Könönen, and again the cars changes their positions, and now let's see the Johansson in a P4 and a Shadow in a P5. Of course we are needing the points, every team is needing the points from the both lobbies, so of course there's no room for error, and we will need that really tight, and no moving from the P1 and P2 from that last lap. So Shadow is battling against Gunnar Augustsson in P5 and P6, and Forsberg is hunting them in P7, and now got some penalties. I'm not sure from what, but as we can see, the game will take those penalties off, and the penalty line is in a later section of that track, and of course the 8.5 second penalty will affect his position a little bit more than one, and now he will be taken care of that in a second after the second corner, and when we are coming to the main straight now. There's the point, and let's hope that everybody will see how much it affects his position. And now the 7 has been lost to the Gunnar Augustsson and Icelandic team, so we will expect a little bit slower lap for the Forsberg in this, and McIntosh of course run to his partner in this team. So let's see what will happen those positions during this first stint. Jökull Fransson again.
And I'm hearing him back in business.
Yeah, nice to have you back in the business. And Jökull Fransson is having so much difficulties to defend against the Puumalainen in a P2. And let's see how about the Puumalainen team Finne is taking against this tight race against the excellent Icelandic driver Jökull Fransson, and we will see how they will head to this next chicane. A little bit wider line for the Icelandic driver, and than it was the Finn. And let's see how they are exiting after the last corner. So Petri, how about that exit from the last corner? How will it affect during that long straight?
It means a lot. If you get the perfect line and you can maximize your speed on that last corner, it affects a lot on that main straight. And we see it in early series and races, and that's a big thing. And the drivers really have to focus on that. They can take the best line. And of course, if there's a battling situation, it's a little bit harder. But I hope that the drivers can focus on those last corners and take the best out of it.
Looks like it's like a 0.4 or 0.3 seconds gap between the cars, and as it was between the Jökull Fransson and Puumalainen when they started that main straight, it was almost 0.4 seconds, and Puumalainen managed to get that overpass after during that first corner. So looks like if it's more than 0.4 seconds, Petri, the slip seam doesn't affect so much, and overtake will be not will be so easy to make.
Oh yes, it's a little bit hard to say how much the drivers can affect that, but I think I see watched quite closely on that Puumalainen and Fransson on the place 1 and 2, and let's see how much it affects. And of course Markus Könönen, he is so close to the Puumalainen, so let's see what's happening. And I'm trying to focus on that, how much they get more speed on that main straight.
Yeah, let's see you do that, and I will go through the line again. Johansson in a P4, Sado P5, Gunnar Augustsson in a P6, only 0.5 seconds between the Finn, and McIntosh in a P7, 3 seconds behind the Icelandic driver, and Olafur Einar about 2 seconds behind. Forsberg already 20 seconds behind the driver, so I think we are starting to have some. Yeah, he was in a pit earlier on. He's now in out lap. So Olafur Einar also started with this strategy. So, but we are seeing this. The drivers are using that medium dry off already straight from the start, and now we are expecting they are having so much more speed with that soft compound.
Oh yes, I think that on this weather it's clean and warm, and looks like the racing soft tires are working quite nicely on here. So, and actually just a few seconds ago I was just watching that the main straight Puumalainen was getting more than 10 kilometers hours on more speed on that first straight, so it's quite a lot if you driving on place 2 and you're trying to overtake, so that's make it quite easy.
Yeah, but it affects it so much to the braking point, so we have already witnessed so many wide exits from the first corner. The drivers are driving it wide to the grass and the tarmac area from the track, so it's like a two-bladed sword. So if you are using it correctly, as we can hopefully see from the Könen, he will make that move during that first corner, and now braking so much sooner and not going wide and taking the front zone with him. So they are going. That was like a pretty bold move, as I can say, from the Könen, and Fransson took the P2 back from the Finnish driver. So I think it was a little bit too bold move from the Könen, and he understood that he cannot drive with that line, and I think understood and changed the position back to the P3 and starts with the hunting for the Fransson again.
Oh yes, it looked correctly like that, and Marcus, he has so much experience, and he really knows that what he can do with that car, and it was a so tight a situation. I think there was no place for the newspaper or anything between those cars, but Marcus Könen, he's hunting on Fransson, and of course Johansson from Sweden, he's quite close too, so nice moves and nice fighting here on the top 4.
Yeah, we have also the nice fight between Johansson, Sado and Gunnar Augustsson in a P4 to P6. So this package from the, I think it is from the P1 to P6, it is so tight. It's only 3.6 seconds between those 6 drivers, so they are like a 1.5 second gap between 10 and drivers. After the P7, 8 and 9, they have already took their first pit stop. So let's see what will when the leading 6 cars are starting to have those racing soft tires off. So let's see about that. And as we can see from the speculated how long the fuel will last, it is about 15 laps or so, plus minus 1 lap. So we can expect some 5 more tight laps in battling this battle against time and against how will the drivers make their moves, and it is witnessed again. This is so much tight race between these Nordic countries. The drivers are just top-notch drivers, and they have been making their homeworks. So we are expecting a really tight evening again. So, Petri, how about those first pit stops to the drivers from the P7, P9? How much did they gain some benefits from that early stop, or what kind of things might be in the mind of those drivers?
It's quite interesting to see how far that's go with those drivers. The race before this, we see a lot of different bits of strategies, and there's all these competitions are going to the last, almost last corners when we see the final results, and of course it is a big thing. And so far the weather looks quite good. There's no sign of rain, but let's see what's happening. And of course, Hillbill Mega asking where are the Norwegians. Unfortunately, Norwegians are not racing here today, and we only have here in Finland, Sweden and Iceland on this lobby A, and I think they don't drive on the lobby B2.
Yeah, that is correct. Unfortunately, they didn't have the team for this evening's race. So we are driving between these three countries and 3 drivers per country in both lobbies, but it doesn't minimize their effect and what is the pace and how the skill level of these drivers. It is absolutely magnificent, and so it is so joyful to see how easily they will make the look, how the cars will turn and how will the braking points, the times from the last laps, as we can see Gunnar Augustsson, they are between 0.1 and 0.2 seconds the last 4 laps, so it is really tight paced race again. Now we are with crap, he took so much speed from that slipstream from the, I think it was a Finnish driver Shadow, and he couldn't make the car stop, and now he broke his first front aero, and now he's having so much difficulties. We are having this weak damage in Gran Turismo 7, so the car will repair itself, but in this track, Petri, it will affect a lot for the turning and time, how much the car uses during those corners.
Of course, it affects quite a lot. Of course, the drivers can thank that the damage is on weak, so it fits its own those cars. But of course, it's cost a lot of seconds to broke that car, and that's a big thing, of course, if you wanna stay in the game and try to win this race.
Yeah, and as we talk about the point situation between Team Finland and Team Icelandic, it is 46 points between that. Now the Finnish team is leading in this point, and after this everything is possible, and all the teams need to take so much use for the track, and of course hope that all the drivers will be as close as possible to each other, and so in both lobbies, of course, and they will gain some more points. And now I think, Petri, we are having some clouds and some kind of mist, so is there a possibility for the rain as soon as in a lap next few laps?
It might be possible. I think every time when we get rain on the track, we get a little fog or mist on the track, and now it's look like exactly like that. And let's see what's happening on a few laps. Quite interesting to see. It was. I really hope that we get a little bit of rain on track, so then we have total chaos on the track, and it's always great to see how the drivers can fit that and what they do on the pit stop, if they come to the pit.
Yeah, and of course that will change some. We have this mandatory tire rule that needs to be that both compounds, the racing medium and racing soft, needs to be used. But if the cars or drivers will take that intermediate or wet compound, then the mandatory tire rule will be moved away, so they don't need anymore to take that compound that they haven't been used already. So this might be game changer for the next few laps, and let's see. And as we can see from the main straight, there's lots of more clouds than it was in different corners of the track. So let's see what will happen. And now Jökull Fransson is making the great move and having this overtake from the Könönen in a P3, and whoa, that was a bold one, and audacious move down the inside, and took the first corner, and now he's in back in business in a P2.
Oh yes, it was a very nice move, and I was a little bit scary if happening anything, but Fransson was handling his car on so great, and anything very special happened. He just take a great overtake, and he's on place 2 on this time, and let's see.
Let's see, and looks like every drivers from the P5 and below has already took their pit stops in a previous laps. We are now in a lap 14, and only the drivers from the 1 to 4 hasn't gone to the pit. So let's see, are they expecting or waiting the rain, or having the strategy to drive as long as possible with that compound and with that fuel?
Oh yes, like now it looks a little bit clear on the track. so hard to say anything what's coming on the rain. I'm always hoping that we can, when we spectate, we can get that raining radar on our screens. But unfortunately, we just have to guess what's happening on the track. But and Franson, he's now on the pit.
Yeah, looks like the Icelandic drivers Jökull and Gunnar has taken their pit stops, and also it looks like the Puumalainen and Könönen from the P1 and P2 from the Finnish drivers. They have I think they need to have more fuel in their tank, and they have been saving that, but I don't think they have been screwing that fuel how that remaining fuel. So I think that they are just managing to drive a little bit lesser RPMs with that powerful Mercedes engine, so they will not use so much fuel. And let's see if the Finnish drivers, Puumalainen and Könönen P1 and P2, will go to the pit after this lap 15.
Oh yes, this is a quite interesting thing, and Puumalainen and Könönen, they can use a little bit less fuel on the so far, and let's see if they're heading to the pit on this. It looks like Könönen is heading to the pit. Yeah, oh yes, he's going.
The both drivers head to the pit, and
too. Yes.
yeah, the both drivers head to the pit, and of course we have this pit line rule also that drivers cannot cross the pit line as it is in a as we can see in a normal regular races. You cannot cross the pit, and if you do that, you get a 3-second penalty. And let's hope the Finns didn't do that. Also, nobody else has taken that penalty, and now Jökull Fransson seems like he is going to the P1 or does the Könönen and Puumalainen is just front of the man, and I got back to the P1 P2 that if it had taken more than 1 second more, then the Fransson have been in a P1, and of course the Forsberg from the Sweden has already also been in the same package. So it was a tight move from the Finnish duo, and now we are witnessing again the next stint is the awesome race and this Nordic Masters Series in Gran Turismo 7.
Oh yes, and it's always great to see a little bit different bits of strategies, because that's the biggest thing on today on these races. If you are fast, but you really have to focus on those pit stop, and you really have to use all the effects what you can get on the track, like a pit stop and all the corners, and that's the biggest thing on today's sim racing.
Yeah, it is also interesting to see. I think as you can see from the home screens, also in a down corner in this screen and graphics, you can see what kind of tires the drivers are using, and as we can see, the Finnish drivers took again the racing soft compound, as did Jökull Fransson and Forsberg from the P4 also, and now I think they are leaving that medium compound to the last stint of the race, so they really need to use that and in later on then during this race. So let's see, and how does it move? Is it a correct move? As you said, there will be pretty different strategies for this tire and pit stops, and of course if there will be rain, now it looks a little bit clearer skies, and if there will be rain, it will affect and shuffle the deck of course fully, and let's see better what will happen. And of course Jökull Fransson in P3, he's hunting so fast and using whole the track and trying to find that place where he can overpass the Finnish driver Puumalainen in front of him.
Oh yes, Franson, he's driving so fast and he really pushes on the track. Puumalainen and Könönen, they really have to do their best. And of course, the Forsberg, he is quite close too. So there's 4 fast drivers, and it's great to see how the Forsberg when he's so close too, and of course Franson, he really have to look at his mirrors and what Forsberg is doing behind him. So very tight situation, and great to see what's happening after this long main straight.
Yeah, we are sitting in a lap of Forsberg in his car, and let's see, does he have the room to make his move? Already Jakub Fransson is taking this attacking move next to the Puumalainen, and now they are braking so strongly, and Forsberg just managed to stop his car before the Puumalainen's rear end has put to his front mirror, and of course the Fransson make again a great move in P2 and overpassed the Puumalainen. Now he's hunting the P1.
Oh yes, this absolutely amazing fight, and all those 4 drivers, they are so close, and I think the Shadow, he's not so far. He can also join this 4 drivers who are leading the race on this time, but let's see what's happening. Johansson, he's about 4.6 seconds behind Shadow, so let's see what's happening. And of course we have to remember that some drivers have to change again the tires, so let's see what's happening.
Yeah, and do I remember right that Forsberg has already he started his race with the racing medium compound, and now he's using his first set of racing soft, because it looks like his tires have been wear so much more than drivers in front of him. So I think he has some kind of move to make if he would like to overpass these drivers with his strategy, and it is interesting to see. And now he is making his move, and of course the Puumalainen and Fransson is making their move, and everybody is making their move. And now what is happening? It is happening that they are so. And now Puumalainen a little bit wide from the first corner, and Forsberg in a 3rd position, and now he is hunting the Fransson. I think also he is so experienced driver, the Forsberg, also in a team Sweden, so we are expecting very, very good things from him too. So let's these 3 drivers has I think they are, if they might be a little bit more closer each other, I think we're gonna throw some blankets over them, also only by one of them, and they are doing the perfect things. And now the Fransson has made his move in this chicane. I think it is net chicane. No, it's not. But he made his move and moved up to the first position. And now the Könönen is hunting him and defending against Forsberg in a P3. So we are witnessing a really, really exciting evening in this Nordic Masters races and season finale. Yeah, without you are just following from our channel, and I hopefully you will make subscribes and leave some thumbs up to this race, because it better doesn't need any more than a thumbs up. It is so exciting to see the last 13 laps in this race.
Oh yes, the fight is so tight, and positions change quite a lot on the top 3 drivers, and Puumalainen and Sado, they are not so far, and I think they can catch this 3 fast drivers, but again it looks like a little bit foggy on the track, but let's see what's happening. The weather changes quite often, so let's see if we get some rain, maybe.
Yeah, it will make some changes again. So the drivers need to just follow the weather channel also when they are driving. So it will change a little bit more than need a little bit more than 2 eyes to follow this race from that cockpit. And as we can see from the behind of Joko Fransson, he's having so much difficulties in a time to time to defend against the Forsberg, and of course Könönen in P1 has some kind of advantage from that battle against. And now we are having some dark clouds again, so let's see what will that bring us. Of course, as we mentioned it in a earlier in today's stream, we are having Gran Turismo 7 in a dynamic weather and of course the random weather, so anything can happen during this race. And Forsberg in a second time in a pits.
Oh yes, he's heading to the pit, and Fransson and Könönen again, they battling on the places 1 and 2, and like we see earlier, the best place to overtake is the main straight and the first corner. So let's see how many times they can overtake each other. Oh yeah, Fransson, it looks like he's driving a little bit wide, but it was just a camera angle.
Yeah, he's pushing and pushing and pushing, and the car is right on the limit of how its capabilities. And as we can see, the rear end is sliding, and he's oversteering with that car in from those exits. And of course, he knows that that Finnish driver behind him is. He needs to keep his eyes in the mirrors also, that because the gap is only the 0.6 and 0.5 seconds. So let's see what will happen, and of course we will follow the weather also if the rain will start. And now we will go through a little bit at the back from the P4. The Shadow is in a P4, Johansson in a P5 from Sweden, Gunnar Augustsson in a P6, and he has some kind of 0.5 penalty from the, I think they are having the difficulties in this in of that last chicane, and I think the penalties will be given somehow from that line. I don't know anything else. Forsberg in a P8 and Olafur Einar in P9, so only 40 seconds to the first car. And we will remember that he just took his car a second time to the pit stop, so he will gain some position after the drivers front of him will go to the pit stops. And again back to the P1 and P2 and Petri.
Oh yes, and McIntosh was just heading to the pit, and it's quite interesting to watch. Everything looks so good on all the drivers. Anything special from the tires or fuel, and now we just have to wait, and let's see what's happening on the last laps, because I think we are again seeing some nice and surprising moves on the last laps, and we just need to wait.
Yeah, let's keep waiting with you guys in the home. So if you have anything to question or comment, then let's put your comments, thoughts to this chat, and we will follow that also. And of course, as you Petri said, the last stint or I think the last 10 or 5 laps will only we will see in those laps what will happen in the end results, because I think the top drivers hasn't took that racing medium yet, and of course that will affect how long they can drive with those racing softs, and of course how long the fuel will last. And of course everybody needs to drive at least 3 laps with that medium compound. It cannot be driven less than that if you don't want some after race penalties, and of course nobody wants them in this grand finale of this Nordic Masters.
Oh yes, I think everybody of these drivers knows quite clear on the rule book, and they know what they have to do on the track, but the situation is so tight on the top 2, and the Puumalainen, he's not so far behind the Könönen and Fransson, so we are just waiting when they're heading to the pit, and that's the one of the big thing on this race, and I'm waiting for that quite a lot.
Yeah, we need to wait a little bit longer, and then if a few drivers started with that racing medium, I don't recall which one was them. I think the Forsberg in a P7 was one of them, and maybe some other, perhaps in an Icelandic team driver, and maybe the one more Swedish driver started their race with the racing medium. So I think they will gain some positions after the top driver will take that last stop in the next few laps. So let's see what will happen, and anything can of course happen. We will follow the first drivers in Koenen and Fransson in a P1, P2, and they are changing the positions, and another driver is attacking, and another driver is defending the position. So anything as we have said so many times, anything can happen, and please stay in our stream today, and let's follow up who will take the win from the last race of this season.
Oh yes, this is so interesting situation. Of course, there's a little bit different things on the track. Like McIntosh, he's now driving on place 8. His gap on the top drivers are a little bit over 40 seconds. So I think some of the drivers are not training so much, but of course we always have to remember all these different pit stop strategies, because if you're heading to the pit, it take quite long time to go there and get out. So anything can happen, and you just missed one breaking point, and that's the one thing too. But let's see, we still have almost 10 laps to go, so it's exciting.
It is exciting, and we will remind you that we are having a little bit team interview or team discussion after the race, so please do not go away after the race ends, and we will discuss between Team Finland and Team Sweden and Team Icelandic members. So if you have anything to ask from those teams, please put that to the chat, and we will ask things about the season and about this race from those drivers that are now joining us, and in this interesting season. And of course we are discussing something about that you are interested of course. So please let us know if you have anything to ask about the season, about those teams, Finland, Sweden or Iceland.
Oh yes, and one interesting point on the top 3 drivers, Markus Könönen and Puumalainen, they had quite a lot more fuel than Fransson, and of course that's the quite interesting thing on this time on this race. Is it something a little bit special to the Finn drivers? Maybe. Fransson, he's driving so fast and pushing a lot. Maybe he's using more fuel than the Finnish drivers, but let's see. And Shadow, he's not so far on the top drivers, a little bit over 7 seconds. So let's see what happened when they're changing tires again, but not so many laps to go, and this is I'm trying to focus on these drivers, what they are doing on the pit stop, so quite exciting ending coming.
Yeah, the drivers, as you said, the drivers are using the throttle a little bit different, and of course it depends are they driving with the steering wheel or the PlayStation controller. As we spoke in earlier races, you can participate these races only with that PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 and controller from those consoles. So you don't need any kind of top-notch and top-end high-end racing simulators or the cockpits that might be used with some drivers. So that is the one main point in driving with the Gran Turismo 7. It allows any kind of any level drivers to participate and take a part in these excellent races in their own countries.
Oh yes, and all those Finnish series, we see some new drivers, and it was always great to have new people on the track and new names, and they're challenging the old drivers. So that's the one big thing, and like Markus says, you can so easily came here and play and race against these drivers. So this is one of the big thing on these Gran Turismo 7 competitions. So just go and challenge yourself, and that's the best thing what you can do on these races.
That is correct. And now we are following the battle in P8 and P9. Macintosh against Olafur Einar in P9. So they are. I think the Macintosh just overpassed Einar in the last pit stop, or did it vice versa. So I don't recall. I think the Einar just came behind the Macintosh, and now they are having their own battles against. And of course, we are driving for the team points, so no driver points will be given. Of course, they will be calculated, but the drivers can change during the season. So now we are. Every team needs every point and every position in both lobbies. So they will need. They cannot stay and think. And I don't know. I cannot overpass him. You need to push and push for your own limits and keep that car in that position to gain some extra points for your team, and they might be the necessary points for that last position after the race and standings after the race and season.
Of course, and this team racing is one of the best thing on this series, because everybody have to do their best and get the best results out of the track. And of course, it's great to win the race, but team is the best thing. And it's just great to see Könönen and Frans on the two top drivers. They are challenging each other, and amazing race with those two drivers.
And looks like Fransson is taking his overpass from the Finnish driver, and now took the position one, at least for the 1 second and 1 corner. And let's see after the corners 3 and 4, and again it's advance for the Finnish driver in inner lane. And of course the track will turn to the left next, so the Fransson will be gain some more extra points from that corner. And it was excellent turn from the Icelandic driver, and he overpassed, and Franco Könönen again took his place back. So they are heading and pushing, and I think if there will be crowd, they will be on their feet and cheer for those poach drivers. And let's witness this excellent driving from the Team Finland and Team Icelandic or Iceland also, and they are pushing those boundaries. They are gaining those positions, and of course they need to try to keep their calm and not make any more moves. And of course, gentlemen rules and gentlemen's of course they will give some space, but not too much. And of course now Icelandic team has taken that P1 for this lap 28, and when we are starting the 29th lap, and no, the Fransson just went to the pit stops, and Finnish drivers are continuing in P1 and P2.
Oh yes, Fransson, he doesn't have any fuel left. He really have to go to the pit stop, and this is one of the strategic points on this race, how fast he can change those tires and get new fuel. The Finnish driver have a little bit more fuel on their tanks, so they've been a little bit less time on the pit, but let's see, this is so tight situation, but Fransson, he is so talented driver, and it was so great to see how the Könönen and the Fransson battling on the track. They're having so tight situation, but any collision or nothing. So absolutely amazing racing.
Yeah, now I'm following the E4 spur in P4, and that Swedish driver. as I recall right, he has taken his medium compound in a first stint of the race and the beginning of the race, and now he's pushing against the Franson in a P3. So I think that he has the advantage of that softer compound and will take his overpass from the Icelandic team. And this might be the situation after the Finns also take the last pit stop, and I think the Forsberg might get that strategy going on, and of course he needs to make that fast overpass from the Franson also, that he can start continuing to drive his own pace, and of course cannot give the Finns any more room for that or capped in a track, and we will see after the next lap. And Finns didn't go even from that lap, so they will continue and use only 3 last laps for the medium tires and medium compound. So let's see what will happen. The Forsberg is blinking his lights for the Franson, but hey, they both are in the same lap, and of course they are as fast drivers in both cars. So of course the Forsberg has this advantage in if it is softer compounds. He can brake some later and of course turn his car much more faster, but no, he drive it a little bit wider, and again the battle is on between the Icelandic and Swedish drivers, and we will wait after the Finns will go to the pit after this lap. They cannot drive more because the mandatory tire rule needs to be taken care that 3 laps will be driven for that medium compound also. But it was I think Forsberg lost some time, Petri, battling against the fast-paced Jökull Franson P4.
Oh yes, I think the same thing, but the Finnish drivers' gap is not so much, and it's going so tight when they're heading to the pit and taking a little bit fuel. And of course changing their tires. I hope they remember make that mandatory pit stop. Oh yes, they are both heading to the pit. So let's see. This is one of the big things on this race, and let's see how Forsberg and Franson can keep their positions, or did the Finns came out of pit and staying the place 1 and 2.
Yeah, we are following the Forsberg in P3. He's now gaining or getting closer to the pit, and of course he's getting much more speed from that exit from the last corner to the main straight, and now we are overpassing the finish line. Just the Finns, they are just ahead from these 2 drivers, and of course we will see how much the Forsberg soft compounds will affect for him. It's 2-second gap, and they will see each other, and Jökull Franson of course in a P4 looking for the Finns also. So this will be the photo finish, I think, Petri. We are witnessing the last 3 laps of this season and this race, of course. So let's follow up about that, and of course we will see what is happening. There's lots of battling against P5 Shadow against Johansson in a P6, so of course they are really important, the positions to gain some points for that own team. And of course there's some things happening behind them. Gunnar Augustsson also not so far away, and the drivers are using the same compounds. Shadow is using a little bit more newer tires, and he has taken his pit stop a little bit later than Johansson, but they are please follow Petri this battle against the P5 and P6, because they are important points for both teams, and of course the might happen and might affect the end results of the season also.
Oh yes, and we have great battles on the track, and of course the Forsberg, he is now the big question on this race, because he's driving with the soft tires, and he can really challenge the top 4 drivers. So let's see, but Shadow and Johansson, they are driving smoothly here and battling on place 5th and 6th, and but now it looks like Johansson, he's now on place 5th.
Let's see what will happen when they are going that first corner now. Against Shadow is a P5, and again they are chasing those positions also in every corner, and now heading each other in a real mirror against another real mirror. There's no room for the blanket or a newspaper between those cars. So let's see. But I will expect that Forsberg is making his move during this lap. Of course, he's using those soft compounds, and the Finn drivers need to, of course, understand that they cannot make any sudden moves to lose their positions in a P2 and a P3. But let's hope nothing is going to happen. Again, we are having this mist, and that will be a game changer if we are having some rain during the last laps of this season. And let's see what will happen. Forsberg is now in a P2 and heading for the P1 against the Könönen, and I don't think he has any difficulties to hunt and chase that racing medium driver, Finnish driver with that harder compound. So we are expecting what is happening against the Joku Fransson and of course the Shadow and Johansson in a P5 and P6. They will make them the last lap of this season. The battles against each other, battles against Finland and battles against Finland and Sweden, and of course the battles against again there's happening something in a first corner, and Forsberg made his move and now got back to the last or the third position. If you can make some replays, Petri, then we will see and know what happened in a first corner. But Forsberg was already in a P2 and now he's back in a P3 after the first corner. So Petri, if you can replay that and see what happened, so maybe we will understand a little bit more what happened to the Swedish star.
Oh yes, I was just watching place 5th and 6th, Johansson and Shadow. Johansson maybe hit a little bit on the Shadow, and he was running out of that first corner. But now Johansson, he's driving on 5th place and Shadow on 6th place, and there's a 1.6 seconds gap between these drivers. So let's see, just few corners and we know who will win the race.
Yeah, there's a battle against Icelandic Olafur Einar in P8 and McIntosh in P9, and they are hunting, of course, the Augustsson in a P7. So let's follow up that. And now we are heading the last laps. The photo finish of the Forsberg and Puumalainen. Könönen seems like getting that victory for the Finns, but how about the Puumalainen and Forsberg? Only 0.08 seconds, less than 1,000 of the seconds, and Johansson in a P5. Oh, that was an excellent move from the Forsberg, but didn't have the room for the more than a P3 for him. So again, Johansson, and now the last driver, Gunnar Augustsson, Einar and McIntosh, photo finish for them also. And Petri, whoa. I cannot say more than the whoa than of course victory for the team Finland, but it was a spectacular finish for this season.
Okay, yes, it was an amazing race, and it was again so nice to see different pit stop strategies, and of course that means a lot on the end of the race. But it was tight, but clean racing, and it was very nice to see, and amazing race all over, and I really like to watch it, and we get a great final.
Yeah, we will go through the Finnish standings after this race, and Team Finland P1 and P2, Könönen, Puumalainen, and Forsberg made this different strategy, and it was so close that he didn't get that finish in a P1 and a victory for the Team Sweden, but something happened in a last lap, so maybe we will hear that in team interviews after this little bit go through. And Joku Fransson from the Icelandic team P4 and also got the fastest lap in 1:38 and 2:25, so it was a fast lap for that Icelandic driver also. Johansson in a P5, Shadow in a P6 and Gunnar Augustsson in a P7 and Olafur Einar in a P8, and I think McIntosh, yes, they just overpassed him, and that it was a lot of photo finish for those last three drivers also. So I think it was a photo finish from the every position and every battle for every position. As we can see, from the standings. Johansson against Shadow, only 1 second, and of course the P1 to P3 only not more than 1 second. So it was a tight race, Petri, as we expected.
Oh yes, it was like I said, little things matters a lot on this race, and we see excellent pit stop strategy and nice fighting and great race. It was so great to watch it, and I have nothing bad to say. It was clean racing, and I really loved it.
Yeah, let's wait and see if we are having this drivers or the team members from the team Icelandic and team Sweden to our interviewing section after this little bit. But as we talk a little bit about this season, it was a tight season as we said, and of course we will go to that after few minutes when we are getting team members from the Sweden and Icelandic team to the interviewing section. So let's wait if we are getting those. And Petri, of course, I think there will be more room for something races for this kind of international, and of course the Nordic battles are so nice to watch, and against of course the friendly neighbors of our Finnish friends from the Nordic countries.
Oh yes, this was amazing, and it was great to see a lot of countries on these races, and of course this is a big thing. All these Gran Turismo 7 drivers and countries, and I was honored to be here with you, Markus, and I hope in the future we can continue on events like this, and it's great to be here.
Yeah, now it looks like we are starting to have our friends from the neighbors, so let's join with them to the another interviewing section. So let's hope we can participate with those guys also. So keep in touch, don't go on anyway if you would like to hear about the commentates and of course the things, thoughts and some points from those friendly neighbors of yours truly. So now we are have joined to the interviewing point, and I hope we are having also you are hearing us, Simon and Gunnar also.
Yeah, I heard you 2 times there, so I had to mute the stream, but here we're fine now.
It was a great race for both, and of course I hope that Jökull Fransson, you can also hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hear you fine.
It is great to hear you also, and of course we will go through a little bit this season. It was excellent and nice to get all of you joining us with this Nordic Masters 5th season of this series. And of course, what are your thoughts about this season? If you can start, Jökull, from this Icelandic team. We got you joining us to this season 5, and what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, I really like it. It's a lot of fun. You know, really strong drivers in these, lobbies. And yeah, it's really, been a whole lot of fun. Just, push yourself and have such a clean battles, or at least try to keep them as clean as possible.
How about you, Simon? What are your thoughts about the team in Sweden? We have been racing since the Gran Turismo sport with you guys, and how about this 5th season in a Nordic Masters when we got almost every country from the Nordic region? So what are the thoughts from the team Sweden?
I don't even know how many years that was. A long time ago, but it's been a fun set of years. I think we've always been matched. Team Sweden has been a good team, but there's always been Team Norway, Team Finland, and now Team Iceland pushing us even harder. So I think this season was quite even, probably one of the most even seasons we've had last 3-4 seasons. So it's going to be interesting to see the points after tonight. I'm guessing Finland wins, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, it was a close battle bit after that race 3, and of course it was our pleasure to get Team Iceland also to join this season, and it was interesting to see how fast you guys. We didn't know. I don't think nobody in Finland at least knew how fast and how much drivers you are having in your country. What kind of series are you driving in Icelandic region?
Yeah, we have like 4 different divisions, and we have it from open lobbies, with guys that are new to the game. They can come and join the 4th lobby, and then we have like the Premier League almost like, and all of us there are really close, and and we've been that has been going on since I think 2018, since Gran Turismo Sport. And yeah, it's always, always some new guys coming, joining us, and blowing our minds with some good pace.
What was your thoughts before the season when you decided to join us and in this season or this series? What was your thoughts, and what did you think about the other countries' races?
Yeah, my thought was just I was excited, to see where we stand against, the Scandinavian countries. And yeah, I think everybody was just excited to be there. I really didn't know a lot about it before, but yeah, I'm glad we could join you guys.
It was glad, and if we will go through a little bit this season, we raced in a one-make series with the Mercedes AMG. How about the track layouts in Interlagos, Autopolis, and Watkinsglen, and of course today's Fuji? What was the things in a Team Sweden when you knew what kind of races are going during the season?
Oh, a tough question for me, because I feel like I'm more in your position now, Marcus, doing the admin stuff. I've only raced once this season, and I'm totally beat. Tough race, but I think they're good tracks, all of them. Fuji might be one of the more, should I say, controversial ones that everyone doesn't like, but I think the other ones are pure hits. They're good tracks. You can't really go wrong using those.
How about the Icelandic thoughts about the season?
Yeah, it was a good season, This Fuji track, it, brings a lot of slipstream. So it's hard to, push through and, get a decent gap between the guys. If you're trying to also, save fuel, it's very hard to keep up the pace so the next guy doesn't have your slipstream. But I like the season, I like the tracks, and also I like how the tires and the fuel is. It's a lot of fun and, offers a lot of good battles on track because the tires don't go completely down. You're not driving them down to the threads.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Yeah, it offered a little bit more strategies, and of course, when we were planning together this season, we thought about the season would be more pushing and driving full throttle with for the full races, and of course there was interesting strategies as we saw today. Maybe the Simon didn't see, but almost Team Sweden got the victory from the Lobby A also, and of course. It wasn't. It was a little bit different strategy than it was for the Icelandic and Finnish drivers. So interesting to see what kind of things this brings to the game also. And of course, it is great to see how everybody and every team adapted to those possibilities and strategies also.
Yeah, it's really nice. And also, I would like to add, if somebody wants to check out the Icelandic League. On YouTube, it's GTS Iceland on YouTube.
Of course, and if somebody is listening from that your countries also, you can link that to the chat also, and everybody would subscribe that also. And I have been looking for those races and as from the every country also, but they are so interesting to see what kind of things and thoughts and some kind of nuances you are putting in different countries and what kind of races we are expecting. And of course, it is interesting. Even I don't understand what they are talking. Of course, you don't understand what the Finnish are talking. So I think we all are in the same line. But now we have made this English commentary also, and hopefully we have reached some new spectators also for this kind of Nordic series. And it has been our pleasure to having you all. Of course, the team Norway also, and team Denmark also, and we are hoping we can continue this excellent thing we are having together, and of course, getting some new drivers for every country.
Yeah, I would like to thank you just for the season and just looking forward for the next season.
Yeah, we are looking forward for the points, and of course, the standings after the last race. And as Simon said earlier, it might be a little bit harder today. And this season, as Simon said, also it has been maybe the tightest season so far, and we will see what happened for the results after the standings and the results go for the counting. How about Simon?
Yeah, I can only agree, and I have to thank you, especially Marcus and Team Finland. You're probably doing the most heavy lifting with all the administration and keeping the stream going. This is probably the most important thing to making sure people see what we're doing. And I know Norway has been busy. They're doing a lot of stuff in their own series, and hopefully they can fulfill the season next time. And here we have shown that maybe Denmark can be interested too. They were two teams that were very fast the first season they raced, and I raced some of the Norwegians and some of the Danes there. Unfortunately, I have only raced the Icelandics once, which was today, and I would enjoy doing that again.
Yeah, let's see what the future brings us, and of course we will continue with our discussion later on with that chat also, and of course we will see you in a racetrack. And of course I will thank both of you guys for participating this little session with me and discussion, and of course having you I will give you some room to relax and maybe also wait for the results for these today's races. So let's see what will happen, and we will continue pushing the boundaries in the Nordic series also. And of course we cannot do it without you. So let's see you in later on.
Sounds good. Thanks for the guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. No niin, siinä. So we got a little bit Finnish also. So we got a little bit discussion from the team Sweden and team Icelandic also, and Petri need to go. So I will not keep you not so much longer from this stream, and of course I will hope everybody has joined and enjoyed during this season. And of course please subscribe our channel, and please leave some thumbs up, and we will do the same for you too guys. And of course we will see in the next one, and of course we will hope that this series will continue in later on and later futures also. So thank you for the Petri also that for your commentary during the season. And of course one time I didn't manage, I was sick, so everybody in home screens, and we will see you as soon as possible with this something new, and keep on track of what happens in Nordic scenery. So I will hope you everybody pleasant evening and next day and everything. So we will see in the next one. My name is Markus Viitanen, and this was Gran Turismo 7 Nordic Masters Series number 5 from the battle against the teams in the Nordic countries. So please see you in the next one and have a pleasant evening. We will see. Bye.